My name is Tammy Beasley. I'm a registered licensed dietitian with a specialty in sports nutrition. Today we want to talk about fueling for performance for the game of golf. A couple of facts I would like to address initially is that golf, of course, is a skill sport. It is not a high calorie burn sport like many others that we're probably as or more familiar with. But the skill sport itself requires adequate nutrition and fluids to make sure that your brain is fueled adequately to make the quick decisions and the concentration that's required. On average, energy demands for the game of golf are relatively small. It of course depends on whether you're walking the course or riding on a cart. If you're walking, on average, it's about 6 calories per minute compared to riding a cart, which is 3 calories per minute. So obviously I'm going to vote for the walk, but regardless of which one that you choose to do, it's important because of the skill sport to emphasize nutrition, good nutrition, and solid fluid intake for mental clarity and hydration purposes because of the duration of the golf game itself. The top 3 nutrition tips I would like to talk about today is number 1, eat before you play and definitely snack all along the way. Number 2, drink enough fluids before, during, and after your golf game. And then number 3, don't panic yet, we'll talk a little bit further, avoid high fat, high sugar, common foods that the clubhouses love to provide you. And again, we'll go into that in a little bit more detail. Tip number 1, eat before you play. Early morning round, definitely don't tee off without breakfast. Our metabolism runs on a 4-hour cycle. So whatever you had the night before, whatever it was, even if you thought you would never eat again because you ate so much, it is gone the next morning. Your tank is empty and your brain is in need for immediate fuel, let alone your muscles. So that breakfast meal is probably the most important investment you can make into your golf game. If not only that, at least in your ability to think clearly when you're out there, let alone have the energy for that power swing that you've been practicing and working on so hard. So the why, that's the why. It's that critical. It's critical for your metabolism and for the golf game itself, very critical for fueling your brain. Number 2, when. I recommend having breakfast either immediately or within that first hour of getting up. That's the time window that is most effective for your metabolism to kick on and start running at its most efficient in the beginning of the day. What should you have? A combination, a good balance. You want lean protein, you want whole grains, and you want fresh fruits. Perfect combination. It's going to give you the energy to give your brain the fuel it needs and your muscles the fuel it needs. The protein is going to allow that energy from the grains and the fruit to last twice as long. So if you invest in a great balanced breakfast, you are investing in about 3 to 4 hours worth of fuel. So it's the best investment you can do for your golf game. Examples of power breakfasts. If you have the time to prepare, it does not have to be difficult. Something like scrambled eggs with Canadian bacon on a whole grain English muffin, a side of fruit is perfect. One of my favorites, oatmeal with honey, nuts, fresh fruit too on the side is another great option. And if you notice, all of those have the balance of lean protein, grains, and fresh fruit. If you're in a hurry, no excuse. Grab a whole wheat tortilla, put turkey, cheese on that, wrap it up, you're ready to go, grab a fruit, and you're on your way. You can eat it all the way to the golf course. Another option would be a whole grain bagel spread with peanut butter and a side of fruit. Those all are examples of excellent, high quality, balanced fuel that's going to get your brain charged up and your muscles ready to go. Fast food options. It's a reality of our world. If you are running out of time, don't have anything at home to wrap up quickly, there are some options at fast food locations that I could recommend. Egg McMuffin with a small orange juice on the side actually fits the requirement for the American Heart Association, less than 30% fat. It's a very good option. Egg and cheese burritos with fresh fruit, those are available at several different locations. And oatmeal is the hottest fast food item on the market now. McDonald's has just entered that game. Starbucks, of course, has been ahead of the game. And I think others will follow suit. But oatmeal with apples, fruit, side of nuts, perfect balance as well. And then, of course, feel free to have it your own way. If the menu does not have an item, you can ask for separate pieces and put it together yourself. Don't hesitate to do that. For a toasted English muffin or a bagel, if all they offer is sausage or a fried chicken patty with those, you can ask for them to substitute egg or cheese, and I have not found a place that is not willing to do so. Yogurt fruit parfait is another side option as well. If you're not a breakfast eater, again, no excuses. I'm going to give you a couple of options. Try a power smoothie. If you're not used to eating breakfast, I challenge you to start out with something like a smoothie, which, because it's in a liquid form, it's a little bit easier to digest, settles really well in your stomach, and is a good entry into beginning the habit of regular breakfast. A great smoothie would include low-fat milk and or low-fat yogurt, 1 or 2 scoops of 100% whey protein, easy to find. Large stores such as Target, Walmart, you'll have access to that as well. You do not have to go to a specialty store for that product. Just make sure it says 100% whey protein. Fresh and or frozen fruit, peanut butter is optional, and sweetener to taste, and you have a wonderful balanced breakfast ready to go. The only thing to know is that because it is in a liquid form, it will not hold you energy-wise as long as a more solid food breakfast such as this scrambled egg and on the English muffin would hold you. So you'll be a little bit hungrier faster. Another option is a protein energy bar. One of my favorites is Cliff Builder. That's a Cliff brand, but it'll say Builder on the label. Very important difference. The Cliff Builder bar has 20 to 21 grams of protein, equivalent to 2 or 3 eggs or a chicken breast in the amount of protein, plus very high quality organic energy in the rest of the bar itself. So it's one of my favorites. Add a banana to that, you have a fast, no excuse breakfast ready to go, can consume quickly and not miss the mark on missing out on the most important meal of the day. So not only do you need to eat before you play, definitely try to snack along the way. I would encourage you to pack energy protein bars in your golf bag. It's especially very helpful if you're walking the course because of the length of time you will be out there, knowing that the breakfast meal will last you 3 to 4 hours, but depending how long you play, if you have an all day of it, you're going to need some more fuel along the way. So be very careful to pack things that are healthy options that'll sustain that energy for you, your muscles, and your brain. It's especially important in tournaments. If you're playing, again, more than 1 round a day, if you're facing playoffs or extra holes, playing on consecutive days, very, very important to fuel along the way. Snacking strategies. Choosing an energy bar that provides a little bit more carbohydrate energy than it does protein or fat. This is where the standard Cliff bar has a perfect fit. It has less protein than the Cliff Builder, but gives you that sustainable, great, healthy source of energy that you need at the time. Luna is the female version of Cliff. Men are certainly welcome to choose Luna, but it is made by the same company and it is actually designed for women with a little less calories but the same balance as a Cliff bar. And then balanced trail bars. These are a little bit different from your basic balance bars. They're going to have a little bit more carbohydrate energy, and they're definitely going to be easier to eat than many of the balance bars that have the chocolate coating or melt in the sun. You want to avoid that, obviously. Gels are an option. I don't highly recommend them, but if you choose to have a gel, it's concentrated 25 grams of carbohydrate in a small pack. Please make sure that you drink extra fluid because the gels are so concentrated it can cause some gut irritation if you're not careful with that. But gels certainly provide a quick and easy boost of energy. But I would decide on a snacking plan before you hit it, okay, especially for long days on the course. Try to eat a snack every 4 to 6 holes. That's kind of on average what we recommend. And pack, again, your own healthy options so you're not limited to what the snack cart provides you as it comes along. Some great snack options to keep on hand that are easy to eat. Grapes, bananas, individual apple packs are very easy to throw in that golf bag. Very clean, easy to eat. Cheese and crackers, peanut butter and crackers certainly work. Will take a little bit more prep time. And then homemade trail mix is one of my favorites. Just putting it in a small baggie with any kind of combination of whole grain cereal, dried fruit, and any kind of combination of nuts. Makes a great snack that's very portable, and just a small handful every 4 to 6 holes, you're good to go on your way. Number 2 tip, drink enough fluids before and during the game. Water is absolutely the most important nutrient for golfers, absolutely. Environmental conditions, golf is typically played in warm, humid environments outside, of course, so you've got the effect of the sun and the dehydration from that. And of course, golfers age. The older the golfer, the easier to dehydrate and the more fluids needed. The thing about water is that if your body is dehydrated by just a couple of pounds of body weight, which is the typical amount of sweat that we lose in an hour of activity being outside on any general good normal hot sunny day, 2 pounds to 3 pounds of your own body weight that we sweat off can affect your performance by 20%. That's a huge difference. So it's so critical to hydrate. And I find that most of the golfers that I have talked with in the past, this is a real problem area for them. They don't stop. They don't think about it. They don't stop to hydrate their body. And what will happen, you get to hole 15 and your performance really starts to go downhill at that point. And it could be from simply a dehydration level. So it's so easy to prevent. So I highly recommend keeping a water bottle with you and consuming it, sipping it all through. Sports drinks are an option on hot, humid days. Typically, they can enter into the picture after about an hour of play. But the recommendations, drink 2 cups before you tee up. Drink half to 1 cup for every 1 or 2 holes, recommendation. And keep a water bottle handy. Refill it at each water station. Keep it in view on your cart so you'll remember to drink it. It is that important. To me, the absolute number one nutrition tip, if you get anything from today, it's drink more water. Number 3, avoid typical high-fat, high-sugar foods at the clubhouse. Okay, golf is a skill sport. No matter how we look at it, it's not high-calorie burn. 1 20-minute meal of a clubhouse hot dog with all the fixings, bag of chips, or as typical, a plate of chips, and a large soda that's refilled 1 or 2 times, that will absolutely, in 20 minutes, negate the 4 hours that you spent walking the course and burning energy. So we don't want to give up the benefits so quickly from that kind of meal. So I do encourage you to try to consider the post-game meal just as important for your next golf game, because it is. Because at that point, within 30 minutes to an hour after your activity's done, that's when your muscles are ready and open to receive the energy to put back inside so that they're ready for the next golf game. Also, of course, the brain fuel as well. If you have a very high-fat meal, you're going to have a lower carbohydrate, higher fat meal. The muscles don't receive the fat. They only receive the carbohydrate. So you're really short-circuiting your ability for the next game to be well-fueled and ready to go and your muscles in top shape. So just consider it. Don't give it up too quickly unless you shoot a personal best. If you have a score of 72 or less, then I'm right there with you. Let's celebrate. But if that's not the kind of day you had, then I would more often than not try to choose the healthier option, considering it again as an investment in your muscles and your brain for the next game. That could be, who knows, the very next day or even that very afternoon. So I think that summarizes everything I wanted to tell you on this basic tips. If you remember, eat before you start and snack along the way. Drink, hydrate. Number 1 nutrition tip for any golfer is to stay hydrated. And number 3, avoid the temptations that come along with the golf carts and in the clubhouse, which are typically high fat, high sugar, processed foods that really aren't going to give your brain and your muscles the fuel that they need to play their best. If you have any additional questions or concerns, feel free to contact me. I'm happy to answer any email that you may have, and I hope this was helpful to you.